Hey guys, welcome to another Traveling Husbandz podcast. Today we have Nikki Tobias from Learning to Live Well with us. We're going to be discussing her YouTube channel, how she got started, and all things related to living well and being a great person. So right after this tune, you'll hear from us. Hey guys, welcome back to another Traveling Husbandz podcast. We are super excited to be back with you. We took a brief break over the holiday season, so we will talk about that first. Aiden, what did you do over our break?
So holidays was around the time where we kind of stopped posting, so definitely spent time with the family, getting the nursery, helping you guys get the nursery finished up. And then we also, me and my wife, we also went on a small trip to up north to Minnesota and then also Las Vegas.
We will be podcasting about that a later
correct.
Correct.
So that podcast will probably go out sometime next week. We still got to go through that. And then, just kind of hung out with family and you guys. And what did you end up doing?
So we actually, and the main reason that we went on a bit of a hiatus, Miranda had a death in her family. Her grandmother passed away, so we really focused on that and spending time with family over the holidays. So Christmas this year was a little rougher for us, so we just felt it was best to take time away from social media and posting and vlogging, and just really take that time to be close with family and a time when they needed it probably the most. So that's what we spent our break doing, and now we're in the final stages of this pregnancy, so we're getting ready to have this baby, and so we figured we better get back to vlogging and spending time with you guys so we can share that with you. And obviously you took some trips with you, so we wanted to make sure that we could cover that. So we'll have a ton of that coming forward for you guys. But today is a little bit different. So usually we have the journey series where we're talking about going off to a certain destination, giving you all the tips and tricks there. We even had a post gender review podcast, which you guys will have to go back and listen to that. Obviously, if you want to know all things Vegas or Disney or spending time,
with your pregnant wife.
With your pregnant wife, yeah, and what that whole experience is like. But today is a little bit different. So we are all about making sure that you have the most possible healthy life you can, and we thought what better way to talk about that than with somebody who spends a lot of time with mental health and clarity and feeling good about yourself. So we decided to ask Nikki Tobias to join us on the podcast, and we will have a little bit of vlogging with this as well, but we will share that at a later date. So we are sitting down today with Nikki. Nikki, say hello to the Traveling Husbandz fans.
Hey there, fans.
Okay, there she is. So Nikki is much more of a vlogger than a podcaster, so we'll help her work her way through this with us. But we'll just kind of pop off and talk about it. So Nikki, tell us a little bit, first off, how people can find you. You're on YouTube, we know that. Are you on Instagram, Facebook? You got a Facebook page? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'm on YouTube. I'm on Learning, and then the number 2, Live Well. So the first couple episodes are really just about me. Well, it's more than the first 2 episodes. So the first week is about me, and why I decided to do this. I decided to do it because I saw too many perfectly plated foods and pictures of people doing yoga poses and after working out for like 5 hours, and they were sweaty, and and I believe life is really about your mental health, and working out is important, but I feel like there's so much more to life than just working out and having perfectly plated food, because if you're like me, you can't do that all the time, and so
life gets busy.
It gets busy.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about how you got to, obviously now we know you're on YouTube, and that's, if you didn't hear her, it was Learning to Live Well, right?
Yep, Learning, and then the number 2, Live Well.
And you've got a few episodes on there.
So we can also put a link to her YouTube.
We will, yeah. So it'll be in the description. You guys will see a link to her YouTube channel, so you can check her out there. And you're on Instagram.
Yep, and it's the same on Instagram, except for it's a lowercase l. I'm not sure that makes a difference. You know, I'm a little bit older than y'all, so
again, we'll post
all the information to her social media will be in the description for this video, so you can go down there and check it out. Are you also open to people, like, if they need advice or have questions, emailing you, or is there a way that they can reach out to you?
Oh, sure. They can message me on Instagram, or I don't know if you can Instagram message people on.
You can.
Okay,
Yep.
yes. Message me. I'll answer.
She will respond to you. So if you need any advice, like the traveling husbands do today, then you can reach out to her on any of her social medias. Shoot her a DM, and she will get back to you as soon as she possibly can. So let's talk about what got you to this point. And are you married? Do you have kids? Where are you from? Tell everybody.
So I'm married to this fabulous, lovable man. And he is the love of my life. And I have 4 children. They're all adults.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm in the time of my life here. And so what happened to me, I'll tell you, I quit smoking about 15 years ago, gained 100 pounds. Then I got depressed. And I had never really been like a thick person. Like a big person. I love thick. And so then I got depressed that I gained more weight, and here I am trying to get it off. So I did every boot camp in the world, and then I found Pilates and lost 40 pounds. Plus I looked amazing. I was tight everywhere. and I just felt powerful, and I loved it. My friend came with me. My friend Karina, but it was not her thing. Learning to live well is all about what works for you.
The individual.
Yeah, Karina really just made me laugh. She almost threw the ball at the instructor's head one time. She encouraged all those kinds of things. So it just wasn't her thing. Her thing is something different. She likes being on the treadmill at her house on her own time. So why I thought of this was that I want to see what other people do, share it with you, and then hopefully you'll find what you love.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know if there's any science to it, but I feel like a lot of people quit smoking and then in turn gain weight. I feel like that happens to a lot of people. Yeah. I'm not a smoker, so I'm not going to pretend like I know, but I feel like that happens to a lot of people, so it's good that you can find these outlets for people to go and do these things. And then you talked about how you tried all different boot camps and things like that, and that maybe not have worked for you, but then you tried Pilates and you fell in love with it.
Yes.
So.
And I could do it like all the time. Then we decided to move last minute about 5 months ago, so I stopped. And because we just didn't have time, we had to fix up our house that we had lived in for 20 years. We came to, we're going to sell or we're going to stay and remodel. The staying and remodel was not an option because the space we had did not fit what we wanted to do. So we said, let's move. Found a wonderful house that fits all our needs and checks all our boxes, but I stopped doing Pilates, so now I'm trying to get back to it.
What would be your advice for somebody, because I know a lot of people, Aid and I are 2 guys, so it's a little different, I think, for men and women and all that, and there's definitely double standards and things like that are out there and exist. But I'm just curious, so on our channel, we talk a lot about like traveling and going on vacation and things like that. Would your advice be for a woman or a man, when they're out on vacation, just eat whatever they want because that's what works for them? Or would you say be careful with that or find an outlet for exercise? Like, what would be your advice for somebody who's going to go on vacation? Tell them mentally, just be clear about it. Don't worry about it. Eat what you want as long as you're exercising and take care of yourself. Or would you say the other way where it's like you definitely need to be worried about what you're eating and that kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I think you have to be conscious of it and, try to do your best 80% of the time. But when I'm on vacation, I don't do that, but I try to. However, someone asked me if I would go on a diet. What diet? I yo-yo dieted for years. It made me miserable. I spent 3 weeks eating everything, only to diet for 2 hours.
What's the diet with no bread?
Keto.
I can't understand how people even do that.
No.
I'm not. I like, I have a relationship with carbs, but I don't understand. I've seen people doing the keto diet, and I can't even figure out how they do it. I mean, they look miserable. I can't believe. I understand dieting and being healthy, but you should be able to do that and not be like miserable and not being able to even feel like you're getting sleep or speaking straight because this diet is like taking over your life. So,
well, I will never diet again, because I think there has not been one time that I didn't spend multiple days, if not weeks, preparing myself and eating and eating and eating. Mm-hmm. Only to have Monday get here and diet for 2 hours and then gorge myself because I dieted for a whole 2 hours.
All right, so we're talking, getting to know you about your YouTube channel, and we kind of want to know, so the listeners and everybody wants to know kind of like where your YouTube channel is going in the future. I know you just got started, so where do you see this going?
Yeah, because we're YouTubers, so we're curious to know like what you plan on doing.
I plan on going everywhere. I want to see what people do all over the place. And as soon as I get small enough to zip line, I want to zip line.
Okay, you want to zip line?
That's a goal.
That's a goal.
That's a good goal.
That's a good goal.
Yeah.
So what is the perfect YouTuber for you? So I guess my question is, or subscriber. So who's somebody that would be wanting to watch you? Like what would that look like?
It'd be someone that wants to laugh, because it's really like a shtick. Like I'm making fun of perfectly plated food and perfect poses. Okay. And perfect health and fitness. Okay. Because I'm happy for the people that can do it, and I'm not one of those people. So I might as well make myself laugh.
So you're doing it for the people that may not fit into those specific molds. You're doing it for the people that are a little bit different or need something different.
She's doing it for the person that is currently at the gym right now, and you're looking across at the person lifting weights, and they're wearing, either the Nike full-on outfit or the leggings, wondering, what are they training for? Yeah. What are they training for? Are the Olympics coming into town or something that we don't know about? Because I sometimes do that when I'm lifting weights or something like that. I can put up some weights and lift them, but then other times I'll look at somebody and I'll be like, what are they doing? Why are you putting your body through that stress of lifting up 400 pounds? I mean, who are you impressing?
Charlie does that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Charlie is who?
Charlie's my son.
Okay.
He's 28.
Okay.
I love him.
He's a big lifter.
He's lifting right now. He's deployed, and
where's he deployed
he's far
at?
away. He's in the Caribbean. Let him tell it. He can't say.
Okay, all right. He's in the Caribbean. Right.
I actually started lifting weights.
You did recently?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
It's not going that great. I can only do 100 pounds right now.
Okay, that's good.
But I have been working out after work, and then eating.
I know, that's the harder part.
It's a struggle. Because it's so easy just to stop at Culver's or something. But
it is.
The whole point of your YouTube page is to say that it's okay to do those things. It's okay not to be the perfect person in the gym.
Yeah.
But as long as you feel good about yourself, then you're doing all right. Am I understanding it right?
Yes. Well, and that your mental health is really important, or an important piece of living well. Like if you aren't mentally well, then you can be physically fit and then not be okay mentally, and it would be a real struggle. So, and sometimes people trade one obsession for another. You can be doing drugs, and then, you can be someone who obsesses about eating perfect food, or like be with a partner that you shouldn't be with, and then you leave them and you put all your energy into this one thing. It's really about moderation of everything and making sure that you make yourself a priority, because if you're not okay, then no one else is okay.
I feel better already.
Do you?
How about you? How about you?
I feel good. I mean, I'm kind of going through this right now because, I'm going to the gym, but I don't know if my headspace is the right place. Like, what am I doing it for? I don't know what I'm doing it for. I think I'm doing it because other people are doing it and they want me to do it. But is that what I want? I mean, of course I want to get better and feel better about myself and, feel good. But I don't know. It's hard. It's a struggle sometimes.
It's the same thing like with, obviously we're traveling husbands. So all the things that we do in places we visit and people we spend time with. But it's the same thing. Like if you're planning to go on a vacation and you're with the wrong person or you're not mentally a strong individual, no matter how many vacations you're going to take, you're not going to feel better. You're still going to have to go back to work at the end of your vacation. So if you're not mentally feeling better about yourself, that the trips aren't going to help, because we've met a lot of people too where it's like, they just vacation to vacation because it makes them feel good for a little bit, but you have to go back to work at some point. I think that's really important to understand. Like you have to still be a mentally strong person. But that's a good thought.
I definitely can tell you, like I just left a job that I was at for a very long time. I was miserable, and I stayed for 3 years longer than I should have. I made decent money, better money than I've ever made in my life. So it was hard to leave. Plus, I loved my job and the people. But I couldn't stand working there anymore. My beliefs didn't align with my management, and so I had to go.
Perfect. Well, not perfect. I mean,
I took a huge pay cut, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Isn't it interesting how just a small change like that in your life can do a lot for you?
Oh my gosh, I laugh every day. I was playing music, and I love the people that I used to work with, and I like the people now. I don't know them enough to love them, but they're lovely. And so
I like Aiden, but I don't love him.
Well,
I love him.
That's so sweet.
So besides,
you know what? That's funny, because I have a friend. I love her. She don't love me.
sometimes it'd be like that, you know.
That's interesting.
So besides the working out and the eating well, mental health is also one of the things that you would be on your channel.
Important, yeah. Because if you're mentally not right, then it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So
yeah, I can agree to that.
And then, would you say for because we would travel and stuff, would you say like if we're in the right headspace and we were trying to do good? Those people that are, eating well, exercising, when they go on vacation, would you suggest for them to keep that up during their vacation, or is it okay to take a break every once in a while?
I think it's okay to take a break every once in a while, because if you don't, then, you just can only sustain that for so long.
And, I'm sure that every place that we go to, any resort that we've ever been in, there's always gyms that you go to, and stuff that you can do at those resorts and stuff, so...
Yeah, I love I love to find things that are not like formal exercise. I love to shovel. So our snowblower broke just recently, and my husband was going to get it fixed. And we had negotiated that he would mow the lawn and I shovel, because I love that. And he was going to get it fixed, and I said, no, we don't need that. Shoveling is free exercise. And it's a lot of cardio. A friend of mine, her name's Roseanne. She plants things. She does lots of projects around her house. And so, I just think it's important to do all those things too.
So working out, not just in the gym, but just in everyday stuff.
Yes.
But don't feel like you have to necessarily. My question for you, as I was just thinking as you were talking, would be, what if I'm somebody that's listening to this right now and they feel like I'm in a good headspace, I'm physically doing what I need to do to feel good about my life, but maybe my friend is struggling. What advice would you give to somebody that would want to talk to their friend, or should they even be talking to their friend if they feel like they're struggling in all these areas of their life?
I think everybody has to figure it out for themselves. I had lots of people that wanted to help me in lots of different ways. It wasn't until I said, I'm going to Pilates every day, and this is what I'm doing, and it's my priority. And if you're my friend, you understand that. So before we go do anything, I have to go to Pilates. And until someone gets to that place by themselves, it doesn't really matter what you say to them. They have to figure it out for themselves.
So even if your friend is in a bad place and you know that what they're doing, their lifestyle is hurting them, taking them down to the ground, you say don't say anything, just let them try and figure it out.
Well, they have
to.
I think you can say something. I guess it just depends on what. Things got really deep for me. I was stopping and eating before I got home to eat, so no one knew what I was eating. It's very destructive, and you can go pretty deep, and until all you can do is support people, because if you nag them and you're not going to get anywhere.
They tend to maybe resent you after a while because they're like, for those reasons, they feel like they have to stop and eat food or hide it from you or something like that, and
Yep.
They shouldn't have to necessarily do that. Nobody wants to create that kind of environment for somebody. The other thing too, I was thinking when you're saying this is, and this is what I love about, for me personally with Disney, is I know it's well cooked. I mean, it's pretty. Food at Disney or any vacation really or any theme park like that is not good for you generally, but it's not like fast food either, because as you were talking, I was thinking fast food is horrible for you and can be addicting, and there's actually been science that's proven that it can be addicting, and that is extremely important too, is just like making sure people's knowledge around food and what they're putting in their body, in a theme park, out of a theme park, on the drive home from work, they need to have that knowledge, because if you're putting stuff in your body that's horrible for you, you can be going down the rabbit hole and you don't even know it. And so just educating yourself around what you're putting in your body, I think, is extremely important.
Are you on your channel? Are you going to be talking any like educational tips or informative or?
Well, yeah, I think it's my ideas evolving. So I'm just putting out my first few episodes. A friend of mine said if you're gonna be interviewing other people, then you're gonna have to talk about yourself first and introduce yourself. So that I found that to be a lot harder to do. Just sit and record myself talking about myself. So like this, I find a lot easier. Yeah. So my hope is that I can do things that are more interesting, follow people like in their day and see what they do.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Traveling Husbands, when we got started, it was definitely not easy. Podcasting is not easy. Vlogging is not easy.
Takes some time to get used to. It's definitely a little awkward at first, but once you start doing it, and it kind of not necessarily becomes a habit, but it becomes a lot easier to do.
Yeah, we found. Thank you. We're not even we're close, but we're just getting started too. But we've definitely had it where we've been out in public. And we're like, wow, we got to film ourselves here, and then we start filming ourselves, and you can just see people stopping and looking at you like, what are they doing, or why are they doing that? But I find those to be opportunities to get subscribers. I mean, somebody who sees you filming yourself or talking to yourself, it's an easy way to walk up and go, I'm
going to get a card.
There you go. This is why we do what we do, and get them involved in our page. But any other, before I turn it over to some of the funner stuff that we wanted to talk about with her, but anything else that you want to ask?
Is there anything else that you want to share about your channel that we haven't talked about so far?
No, just that it's evolving, and I'm excited, and I'm glad that I'm talking to you guys because you make me laugh. And that's a lot of what I'm talking about is laughter and mental health.
Absolutely. And just to let everybody know off the forefront here that you and I actually know each other.
Yes.
And you know my family. So I will give you the opportunity on the Traveling Husbandz podcast to tell a funny story, if you'd like, about me, you, and our time together that we've known each other.
Where do I start? Let me see. I
Tell the gas station one.
About the
gas station
where I drove off with the pump.
Well, not that, but you were getting gas, and I don't want to ruin the story, but I was in the back seat and I was yelling to people in the parking lot.
Oh yeah. I love that. Okay, so we went to your rugby game in Chicago. Mm-hmm. It was you, me, your mom Karina, my friend. Love that girl. She's one of my favorite old ladies. And she's actually 29. But anyway, besides that, and Tyler, your littlest brother. And on the way back from your rugby game, we stopped to get gas. It was cold. The windows were kind of fogged up. You decided you had to get out and go to the bathroom.
Shocker.
Yeah. So
Aiden knows from many plane rides with and all those things, I've had to use the restroom quite a bit.
All the time. Okay.
Smallest bladder I've ever known.
Yeah. I got that too.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So anyway, my friend Karina got out and she was pumping gas. Well, Andrew got out to go use the bathroom, and he
Is it that funny?
You guys can't see it right now, but she's dying laughing.
It was so funny. And so he was like, he was yelling to his mom, and she said, what? And he said, my other mom. And then we all started laughing, and he was writing on the window, and I can't remember what you were writing on the window.
It was help.
Like help.
And trying to get people's attention in the parking lot.
Not a good thing to do, children.
No, that's not good.
No.
But I have seen kids do that in the parks and things like that, and trying to embarrass their parents. So anything else you want to share? Any other stories? I'll give you another chance. You can have one more.
Actually, what's funny? Your mom and I went to get a table once, and when we walked in, they thought we were a lesbian couple. And it's so funny because that tickles me. I love that. And and so the guy was talking to us, and he's like, so where do you guys live? And everywhere we go, people think that because I got short hair. I'm not sure why that means I'm a lesbian, but I don't give a damn.
You're good.
I just swore. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, so so they were sitting there asking us questions, and the guy he said, "Okay, I'm gonna get up to go see. We got this table in stock or whatever." So he got up, walked away, and I said, "You do realize he thinks that we're a couple?" And she's like, well, I'm going to tell him. It's so funny. So I love to mess with her because, although she, she doesn't care. She is not as funny as me. And
You guys balance each other out.
We do. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm crazy and I don't care about anything. She's, she wants to look perfect when she leaves the house. I don't know.
This is my mother she's speaking of, too, if you guys didn't catch on to that. But
she's great, though. I love her.
She is a great lady. Well, thank you for coming on to our podcast.
And she'll be listening. I love you, Rainey.
Thank you for coming on to our podcast. And again, I just want to give you a shout out for all your social media. So you can catch her Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at Learning.
Yep, capital L on YouTube, lowercase l on Instagram. Perfect. Learning2livewell.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, and
thanks for having me.
Yeah, actually, I definitely told Aiden we usually don't have guests on our podcast, and we want to make sure that we at least take something away from it, and we want to make sure that our listeners can take something away from it. So all the things that you covered today, I do appreciate because I definitely took something away. I mean, when you spoke about making sure that you may be physically fit and you may have your life all in line, but if you're not mentally clear, you're not doing yourself a whole lot of favors. And I think that's extremely important when it comes to traveling and things like that. You want to enjoy your vacations and you want to enjoy the parks and things like that. And if you're not mentally clear or feeling good about yourself before you even get on the plane, then what are you doing? So I just want to say that I appreciate that. And again, you can find her Learning to Live Well on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Aiden, anything else you want to close out with?
Again, thank you for coming on with us and sharing your personal stories and then stories about Drew. And then for you guys, the listeners, we'll be posting another podcast later this week about my trip up north and then to Vegas, and then also just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a
2020 review of what we're going to be doing in 2020,
which we're very, very excited. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, we will be posting regularly now, Tuesdays for our vlogs and then Fridays for our podcast. So definitely keep an eye out for those. And then I think. Yeah,
and thank you for coming on, Nikki. And we're starting the year off right, 2020. We're kicking it off right, mentally, physically clear, learning to live well. Check us out. We will also be on her YouTube channel in the coming days, so check us out on there as we spend some more time with Nikki this evening at her home. And we just appreciate you being here. And thank you guys. And we'll see you later. For Drew,
this is Aiden.
We'll talk to you later.